She is an executive member of the President's Committee on the Employment of People with Disabilities. She has served on the Alabama Governor's Task Force for the Deaf and Hard of Hearing. She is an accomplished ballerina with 15 years of dance training. And those of you who watched the Miss America pageant when she was crowned know that she is...
Good morning. To me it's like an afternoon because I came here from East Time, and right now it's about 11 o'clock. I believe right now it's here in Texas, 10 o'clock. So it is warm here. It was cold on the East Coast. So being Miss America is it was a dramatic job for me because I traveled at least 20,000 miles a month, and I had 1 day off each month, and there were so many responsibilities for me to handle because I was the first deaf person to become Miss America, so I represent at least 48 million people with disabilities last year, and people asked me so many questions. How can we tear the barriers down for the people with different disabilities? And it was very hard for me to answer this question because everybody had different abilities, and I'm not talking about just people with disabilities, but also people without disabilities. That's why I share my STARS program with the whole country. Because I really believe it is our responsibility to find our own path, to overcome our own obstacles. Everybody's different. And that's what I told them. That's my advice for them. And before I go on and talk about STARS program, since I gave up my title, I still am on the road for my national speaker tour. Not only that, I also have a unique opportunity to perform ballet. I love ballet to death. To me, it's like a worship to God because God is the most important person in my whole life. And He made me feel so special to me. And so this December, I will perform at the Crystal Cathedral for Christmas pageant. I will dance with live animals, choirs, and so forth, and I'm so excited about that. I also will be part of the Soccer Olympic, like opening ceremony of the Soccer Olympic in Birmingham, Alabama. And it's very exciting for my cousin Trey. I think he's in 5th grade. And he loves soccer, and he's going to be part of it with me. And and also, after Thanksgiving, some of you might be jealous, but I don't know, I'm going to fly F-16. I'm serious, Air Force F-16 is right after Thanksgiving, and they made a special helmet. And they have a hearing aid inside the helmet for me to hear what the pilots say in the Air Force. So I'm very excited and can't wait to ride in F-16. I better take care of my nose because if I have cold or sinus, I cannot ride in the F-16. So I have to make sure that I take care of my body very well during Thanksgiving so I can fly F-16. So my dad told me a dumb joke. I mean, he really a dumb joke. And he wanted me to share that with the audience. And I said, well, Dad, I don't know about that, but all right, I will do it sometimes. Do you know the movie Forrest Gump? Have you ever seen the movie Forrest Gump? He's crazy, he's dumb, but it's a good movie. And so, let's say Forrest died, and he went on to heaven, okay? It's just a joke. He went to heaven, and he saw and met an angel at the gate, and the angel said, my job is to make you happy every day, right here in heaven. I have to find a group of people for you to be happy with every day. So I have to ask you 3 questions. The first question is, how many seconds in a year? Forrest Gump, he said, 12 seconds. Why do you say that? He said, because we have 12 months in a year. Each month counts 1 second. Okay, it's not correct, but unless you pass it. The second question is, how many days in a week that start with a T? He said 4 days. Why do you say that? He said, well, we have Tuesday, Thursday, today, and tomorrow. He said, well, that's not technically right, but I'll let you pass. And this is the third question. My dad, I thought, Dad, you're crazy. But the third question is, what is God's first name? You and I have no doubt God is God. He is who he is. That before said A-D, A-N-D-I, A-N-D-Y, A-D. Why do you say that, A-D? He said, because every Sunday I went to church and I sang this song. And he loves me and he walks with me. Did it make sense? So, that it gives you another opportunity for a different solution. Nobody is perfect. How can we know we're doing perfect if we try it for the first time? That's why I really believe when we fail, it should provide us another opportunity. So my family and I gather together and we talk about STAR's program together. Because when I was 18 months old, I became deaf. And my family was told that a normal life for me would be impossible. Like, for example, I cannot drive my car. I cannot pass 3rd grade level of education or dancing. So my family, they want me to have a normal life. What the doctors didn't realize that they never used the word impossible in my family's vocabularies. Because of their strong faith in God and their determination, I am here. They helped me to pass my 3rd grade level of education. They helped me to speak. And it took me 6 years to say my last name correctly. It's very frustrating. And I have to be honest with you, speech therapy is boring. I'm serious. That this is what we do every day. I mean, like, for example, like da, 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 ti, 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 ooh, 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 everything. And I'm tired of it. And it's a white stone for 6 years. And it's frustrating. That's why I get stubborn. That's why I was so stubborn, so frustrating. And I became very independent because I didn't want, people telling me what to do with my pronunciation when I was little. So I was very stubborn when I was growing up. Some people told my mother, oh, Heather is such a sweet angel. And Mom said she can't be. So I was very stubborn. Anyway, we believe success doesn't just happen. It takes time. And we have to plan to make it happen. So, in America, we really have the freedom to dream. We really do. That's why we have 50 stars of the United States. Anything's possible. But we need to be aware that sometimes we let other people stop us from achieving our dream because we let the negative comments stop us. We handicap ourselves by concentrating on the negative around us. That's what prevents us. But just remember, I know sometimes dreams may seem impossible, but just remember that God having a dream for all of us. And we are here not by our choice, but by our God's choice. And so with God's help, even as small, a faith as small as a mustard seed, anything is possible. We can do it. So start at 5 points. And I found the 5 important steps that helped my family and me to believe in us and make our God's dream come true. And the first point is have a positive attitude. Attitude is the worst handicap in the whole world. It really is. Because it is my attitude that prevents me from dancing. It is my attitude that prevents me from speaking, especially as a speaker right in front of you. I never dreamed of being a speaker. Believe me, I really don't dream about that. Because when I was little, people thought I was from another country. They thought I was from France. And I don't know how to talk here with this different accent. And so I never dreamed of being a speaker. But God said, this is my dream for you. So it's okay, but you better be here with me, Lord. And so we all have, we really need to have attitude. And I agree with the quote I read. I don't know who wrote it, because it said it's written by I know author, but I hope it's a female. I really do. But it could be a male. But that person said, there is a little difference in each of us. And that little difference makes a big difference. The little difference is attitude. The big difference is positive or negative. That's true. Because I remember my mother taught me more than 3rd grade level of education. She had positive attitude. My dad, he taught me how to ride my bicycle. He even let me go and ride the bicycle by myself. On the street, and think about it, I could not hear the car behind me. But Dad educated me to look both sides and watch with my eyes, because he believed I would be safe as long as I hear with my eyes. So he let me go. They both have positive attitude. That's why I went to Miss America. That's why I went to college. That's why I drove my car. Because I have people who believe in me. They say you can do it. That's why it's so important for all of us to have a positive attitude, and you can make a big difference in other people's lives. The second point is have a dream. Sometimes you know your dreams. Sometimes you don't know your true dreams, which is okay. To be honest with you, I was so determined to be an accountant. I really do. I love math. Now, most people hate math. They came to me and told me that. But I love math. But after being Miss America for a whole year, I met people from the business company and the non-profit organization, and government, and so forth. I'm not sure if I want to be an accountant or not. And that's normal. Really, we change our mind. And I'm interested in majoring in business administration or business communication. At the same time, I felt our dream is to have an education. Some people thought I wanted Miss America because of my deafness. I disagree. I'll tell you why. Miss America is the largest provider of scholarship in the whole world. It offers more than $24 million scholarship a year for young women to further their education. So I'm sure they don't want a dumb woman to be Miss America. I really am sure. They want a smart, talented, and good man, woman with good manner. So I believe it's my education. I made a good grade in college, and my determination and God's help. That's why I became Miss America. And I remember I talked to a group of students who were at risk, and they didn't think school was that important. And I'm going to see them again in about 2 weeks, and I can't wait to see them. But it happened a year before I won Miss America. They didn't think school was that important, so they didn't make good grades, they didn't care. And my job is to motivate them to graduate from high school because they would think about dropping out of high school. So I came to them and I pointed to them, how many of you have dreams? Nobody raised their hand. How many of you have role models? Nobody raised their hand. It was about 15 students. I said, okay. And I pointed to one of the students and I said, what do you really want to do? He just said, I just want to have girlfriends. That's it. He just want to have girlfriends. I said, okay, well suppose you get tired of girls. What else do you want to do? And he said, well, I want to take pictures. In other words, I want to be a photographer. And I said, great. But see, I was going to challenge him to get the best education to become a photographer. But then he said, I want to take pictures of girls. I was like, girls? I don't think so. And I think deep down in my heart, I prayed to God. I said, God, please do not make me become a photographer for the Playboy magazine because that's not why I'm here. So I said, well, I suppose there were so many people who want to be photographers. How do you get that job? How do you get that job? He said, I don't know. I think you need education. You need to graduate from high school, you go on to college, and become the best photographer. And you can take pictures for Life magazine. So he said, yeah, you're right. And I can't wait to see that boy again 2 weeks. And I'm going to come back to him and say, do you remember my advice? I can't wait to see him again. And that's why I believe education is our dream. It opened. Remember, there's stars in heaven. There's so many different stars. All stars look different. But they all need one thing, to shine their talents and their abilities. They need light. Because without light, there are no stars. Same thing, we need education. We need education to shine our dreams. That's why it's our dream. The third part is a willingness to work hard. You and I have no doubt about it. We really have to work hard. And I'm going to show you the dance, the videotape of my dance at the Miss America pageant. And my travel companion, she went back to the hotel right now, and she's taking the video with her back here. And we're going to show to you after my speech. I want talent competition, but I want you to know I danced to the same song for 2 years, 5 days a week, for 2 or 3 hours every day. Think about it, it's like you're doing the same homework over and over and over and over. Like the same thing with my last name, 6 years for me to say my last name correctly. This is very tiring. And I drove to the dance studio and I said, God, I love Jesus, I love ballet, but I'm tired of doing the same step over and over. I really am. And I want to go home and eat and relax and enjoy. But the Lord told me deep down in my heart, He said, Heather, it's going to be worth it. Go to the dance studio. So I did. I went to the dance studio no matter how I felt. Even with my big headache, I went to the dance studio. And I'm so glad that I did that because when I went to Miss America pageant, not only I won talent competition, especially scholarship, but I also had a great opportunity to witness the season in front of 40 million people. That's a lot of people. Because a lot of people watch Miss America pageant on TV. So we all have to work hard, and there are no free rides in this world. I wish there are, but really there are no free rides. And the fourth point is face your obstacles. We all have problems. I don't know why we have problems, but there is a reason. There is a reason for every problem. And Helen Keller said it best, and she was my role model when I was growing up, because I remember I was the only deaf student at public school. I was really lonely. I knew I was far behind with other students because of my deafness. And so my teacher required all of us to read a book about Helen Keller. That's how she became my role model. She was from Alabama, not from Texas, she's from Alabama. And she was both deaf and blind. She is so smart, so sagacious, that she inspired me to get the best education. That's how I work so hard. She said about her inspiring words. I want to share that with you. She said, know your problems, but don't let them master you. Let them teach you patience, sweetness, and kindness, because you never know what miracles you will bring into other people's life or in your life. She really said it best. You're doing the same thing too. You see, when you fix your problems, you never know what miracles you will bring to other people's life. For example, when I had the interview with the judges for the first time, I'm talking about my very first local pageant. About 4 years ago, it was a long time ago. Maybe I have gray hair. Time is flying fast. That's why you need to enjoy your life. You need to enjoy your life. Take your time. Because life is short. I'm serious. Life is short. When it was meant to seem like yesterday to me. We need to enjoy our life. Don't worry about money. Don't worry about education. Do the best we can. We need to do the best we can and enjoy our life. So, 4 years ago, when I first competed for Miss St. Clair pageant, that is a local pageant. And if I win Miss St. Clair pageant, I go on to Miss Alabama. If I win Miss Alabama, then I go on to Miss America. It's the same thing. So, my very first interview with the judges was terrible. Remember, it took me 30 minutes to get used to other people's lips. Really, 30 minutes. I had never met these people before, and I only had 12 minutes with them. And I walked in and I said, hey, I'm Heather Whitestone, I'm contestant number 17, and then I sat down. They knew something was wrong. Because I pretended I understood them. Yes, I guess so, maybe, yeah. So they asked me questions like, what is your favorite color? It's a baby question. I didn't win. And I went home and I told my family, and I said, I know why I didn't win. It was because of my deafness. My family, they became my support team, which is the fifth point. And they said, no, Heather, it's not your deafness, because they saw the videotape of my interview. They said it's how you mastered the situation. You did not educate them how to communicate with you. So it's your fault. And I got so mad at them. I said, you're supposed to be on my side. And that's what I told them. And they said, no, we face reality and we want to help you. So 2 weeks later, and I went to a different local patient, I decided to give a second chance. And I had the interview with 5 brand new people, and I never met them before. And I walked in, I said, hi, I'm Heather Washington. I am deaf. But I don't see it as an obstacle. I see it as an opportunity for creative ideas. All you need to do is look at me directly and talk slowly. Do not look at the paper when you read the question out loud. And if I still don't understand you, piece of cake. I ask you to write a question on the paper and let me read it. We can do anything to tear the barriers down. And they were so impressed. They were so happy, so amazed that they opened their heart to me because I asked them to help me. It was a wonderful interview, and I won Miss Chancellor State University. And then I went on to Miss Alabama, first runner-up. And then I came back to Miss Alabama the second year, again, first runner-up, which I thought I should have won at the time, but the Lord said no. And it took me a lot of courage to come back to the Miss Alabama the third time. I thought about not coming back anymore. But I did come back the third time, and I won Miss Alabama, and then went on to Miss American, and we only got one chance. All contestants competing for Miss American, one chance. One chance, that's it. So, and I won Miss America. I learned something from my failures each year. But at the same time, I also learned that the second year at Miss Alabama pageant, there was a lady in the audience. She wrote me a letter. Remember, I didn't win, but she wrote me a letter and she said, Heather, I want you to know there's a deaf man who came to my office looking for a job. And I had a mixed emotion about hiring him because I was not sure. Until I saw you, how you handle with your abilities on the stage. I changed my mind and decided to hire him and give him a chance to show me his abilities to help my business be successful. You are the sunshine. I don't think you realize that. Maybe you do. I can't read your mind. I'm not UFO. But you are the sunshine. Like a window with a crack. Nobody pays attention to the window, right? People pass. I mean, I would pass too. I don't want to look at the window with a crack. But when the sun shines at the window, and coming out of the crack is a rainbow. And you stop, and I stop, and we look at the rainbow, and we go, wow, that is so beautiful. You are the sunshine. You fix your problem. You believe in other people's lives. And when you see the miracles in other people's lives, it makes you want to live longer. Sure, it gives you high hope. And more faith in yourself and your dreams. You are the sunshine. You can make a difference. Not just me, but you. Together. Together. You are the sunshine. That's why I believe nobody can be a star without a support team. I can't be a star without my support team. We can be sunshine together for America. And that was so special about being American. My mother taught me that word American, the last four letters in the word American spell I can. A-M-E-R, the I-C-A-N. I can. We are Americans. And you would be amazed how many people from another country jealous of you. Because you have so much more freedom to dream, a lot of freedom, than anywhere else in America. I know we have government telling us what to do, but believe me, you do have more freedom than any other country. And we need to keep this freedom. We do. So, I don't know if we have videotape right now. We do? Great, great, okay. I have videotape and you can see my dance. The Young Revolution. I chose that song because I want to read.
Miss America, you may come to Baylor anytime. Consider this your home from now on.